Hey everybody, I am going to make this video to help you with today's assignment. I know it's really tough, and so I had a few people asking questions, so I thought I would do this to help you guys out. Let me start by doing the quick basics. If you get the equations to look like this, you are in great shape, and that's what makes this assignment pretty tough sometimes, is not all the questions are written like this, where you have y equals something x plus or minus whatever at the end, right? Y equals mx plus b, right? Where you have your m right there and your b right there. That doesn't always, it's always nice when they write it like that, but they don't always do it. So our main objective today, before we graph them, we want to make sure all of the equations are in this format. Y equals, the y is all by itself on the left-hand side. So before I even solve any of these, this one is good. This is number 1 on your assignment. I just wrote it on separate pieces of paper. I know it's actually on the document. Number 2 is not so nice. You can see number 2 looks like this. Is the letter y all by itself as the only thing on either side of the equal sign here? No way, Jose. So what are we going to have to do? I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm just going to write it off to the side. X minus y equals 7. What I need to do is get the letter y all alone. What is happening to the letter y? Ask yourself that. What is happening to the letter y? Well, it looks like it's being multiplied here. Let me use a different color. I don't think that's going to show up very well. It looks like it's being multiplied here with this -1, and then it also has this x, right? So we need to undo all the stuff that's happening to the letter y. Instead of having this x, positive x right here, I want to do minus x, right? 1, because you could put a 1 right there also if you wanted, right? 1 minus 1 equals 0. Whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other. 1x minus 1x equals 0. Drop this down. Don't forget that subtracting comes down with it, and it just kind of magically looks like a negative sign. Now this is technically okay, but I like my equations to be in the format of y equals mx plus b. Remember? This is what we want it to look like. We want the letter x to come first and then the b part to come last. So I'm actually going to flip this around. I'm going to put the x part at the beginning. I'm going to put the minus 1x first. And I'm going to put the 7. It's a positive 7, so I'm going to put a plus because it was positive right there. Is that okay? All I did is I subtracted the x and I just wrote it at the beginning. And then I took this number, which was positive 7, and I put it at the end. Now the letter y still isn't simplified yet. The letter y still has this multiplying with -1, right? This is multiplying right here. Don't think that's subtracting, that's multiplying. How do I undo multiplying? I undo multiplying with dividing. And we get this. -1 divided by -1 cancels itself out, and so you get y equals, and then over here, -1 divided by -1 is +1, right? When the signs are the same, it's positive. And then here, 7 divided by -1, when the signs are different, it's negative. And so look at that. That's a lot of work just to write this equation in a different format. These are the same thing, right? This and this are the same thing. It's just a different way of writing it. Now, I'm going to go a little bit faster, but we're going to have to do the same thing for the second equation, right? Let's do this one with purple. For the second one, right here. So let me put this off to the side. X minus y equals -4. Okay? The letter y is not all alone. The letter y has there's a 1 right there, there's a 1 right there. The letter y has that x that we're going to have to get out of the way. Step 1, I want to make this equal 0, so I'm going to do -1x. Whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other side. 1 minus 1x equals 0 x's. We don't have any x's left. I'm going to drop this down. -1y equals. Now see how I don't write these? I don't like line it up perfectly. Like here, I lined it up perfectly because this is an x and this is an x. These I kind of have sideways because this is just a plain old number 4, or -4, and this has an x on it. You can't subtract them unless they're like terms. So I'm going to put the x first because the x normally goes first in our format, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to put the x part first, and then I'm going to put the -4 at the end. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, we want to divide this thing. This letter y is still being multiplied. We want to divide it. -1, -1, -1. Every single term gets divided by -1. Right here it cancels out. Right here, -1 divided by -1 is +1. And here, -4, this is a 1. -4 divided by -1 is +4. Remember, when the signs are the same, negative divided by negative equals a positive. So here, this is the same thing as this, just written in a different way. Almost like One way you could call the number 12 is to just call it 12. Another way to call the number 12 is to call it a dozen, right? It's the same thing, you just have it expressed in a different format. So if you can graph these two equations, you'll get the correct answer. Okay, let's stop on that one. Let's go to number 3. I'll explain how to graph them at the end, but I wanted to put all these in the right format for you, because I feel like once you have it in the right format, you should be pretty confident that you know what to do. Okay, here's my format that I want. This top equation is already in that format, right? Y equals 1, my m is 1, and my b is negative 1. So that one's looking good. The one that's not looking good is this one right here, right? This guy right here. So let me clean it up a little bit. I'm going to put a 1 right there. Actually, you know what? Let me write it off to the side. That's what I've been doing on all the others. I'm going to write it like this. I need to get the letter y all by itself. The letter y is being multiplied by 4. The letter y is being added with 1x. Okay? I want this to equal 0. So subtract the x, right? 1 minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to do the same thing on the right-hand side. Whatever I do on the right-hand side, I got to do the same thing on the left-hand side, and vice versa. Here, 4y drops down. With this, I'm going to put the x part first, because look, in my format, the x comes first. This is positive 16, so I'm going to put a plus sign. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, I want to undo this multiplying, because this 4 is being multiplied by the y. I want to undo multiplying with dividing. Boom, boom, boom. All 3 places. Here, 4 divided by 4 equals 1, so that cancels itself out. Here, keep it as a fraction, guys. I know that's technically, what, 0.25? Just keep it as a fraction. If it's not a fraction, you can divide in your head. And then here you can divide this. We know what 16 divided by 4 is. That's 4. And so now this looks like this. You have your m, you have your b right here and right here, and you'll hopefully be able to graph it. This one is looking good, this one is looking good now, and now they both look good. Okay, moving on to number 4. I want to try to get this whole thing done here before this video gets to be like 20 minutes, you know what I mean? You all don't need to watch a 20-minute video from me, because I know it's already halfway through the day. This one's really gross, because none of them are in the right format. This one has x and y on the same side of the equal sign, so does the second one. Let's just start with this one. Okay, remember, we're going to get, excuse me, we're going to get the letter y all by itself. So instead of adding 5x, we're going to do minus 5x. Boom, boom. Here it equals 0, so I can knock it out. Here you can't even subtract them, because this is a normal number, this is an x. I'm going to put the x first. This is a positive 4, so I'm going to put plus. And then step 2, I'm going to see that this is being multiplied, and I want to undo multiplying with dividing. Dividing, dividing. Boom. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. This, I know technically that's like what? I know that's 2.5 or 2.5. Nope, 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 nope. Just keep it as improper. Negative 5 over 2x. And then here we can divide this. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So there is the format. Now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start on the number 2. Then I'm going to go down 5 over 2, down 5 over 2 whenever I graph it. Let's clean up this other one, because this other one's still kind of gross too. Let me get my purple one. This guy right here. Let me just kind of scoot it down to this area. Step 1, I don't want to have anything around the letter y. So this minus or plus 9x, positive 9, we're going to have to do minus 9 to get it out of there. 9 minus 9 is 0. 2y drops down. This is good, but it's kind of backwards. The x needs to come first. This is a positive 12, so I'm going to put plus. And then to finish it off, I'm going to divide everything here, right? Because this is multiplying. Divide, divide, divide. And I get y equals negative 9 over 2. And then 12 divided by 2 is 6. So this is going to be one that's not going to be that fun to graph, because you're going to start at 6, and then you're going to have to go down 9 over 2. Well, I'll show you that hopefully at the end. Okay, number 5. We're making pretty good progress. I'm feeling pretty good. Hopefully you're starting to get the rhythm of these. This, number 5, this is my format that I want. The top equation is not in that format. This one's looking good, right? This one looks good. There's my m, there's my b. But this one right here is not looking nice. The x is over there on the same side of the equal sign with the y. So what I need to do is what we've been doing on all the other ones. The y is going to stay. I want to make this equal 0. Don't look at this and think you want to do plus. If I put a plus right here, does this equal 0? 2x plus 2x? No way, Jose. 2x minus 2 minus 2 equals 0. The negative actually goes with the 6. This is kind of written backwards. Let's put the x first. It's a positive 30, so I'm going to put a plus sign. Whoops, my plus sign doesn't look very good there. Step 2, the letter y is now still being divided. Whoa, let me speak English correctly. Multiplied by negative 6. I was getting ahead of myself. So I need to do dividing to undo the multiplying. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 cancels itself out. Here, negative 2 over negative 6 is the same thing as positive 1/3, right? 2 over 6 is the same thing as 1/3. And positive is what you get when you divide negative divided by negative. And here, positive 30 divided by negative 6, when the signs are different, it's negative 5. And so there you have this. And you can take this equation and pair it up with this one, and you can graph both of those. Okay. The next page, number 6. I think there's 4 more of these. I'm going to try to get this into 15 minutes anyway. Oh, geez, Louise, another one where it's not looking good. I don't have any of them in the right format. Let me take this one off to the side here. Right? I want to get the letter y all alone. So instead of 5 x's, I don't want to have any x's over here. 5 minus 5. Okay, 5 minus 5 is 0. I just have 4 y's. Over here, this is kind of backwards. The x actually goes first. This is minus 12 or negative 12. That kind of goes second. And then I want to undo this multiplying with dividing. 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 Some of this dividing I can do in my head or with the calculator. Some of it I can't. Do I know 5 over 4 in my head? I mean, kind of. It doesn't go evenly. So I'm just going to put negative 5 over 4. Do I know negative 12 divided by 4? Yeah, that's negative 3. Whoa. And so there's that one. Let me go over to this guy right here, this purple one. Put it down here. All right, step 1, I got to get the letter y by itself. I want to undo the x, so 3 minus 3 would make it equal 0. 3x minus 3x. Drop down that. This is written backwards. Put the x at the beginning. Put the minus 20 at the end. Step 2, I want to divide everything by negative 4 because this is being multiplied right there. Divide, divide, perfect. Negative 3 divided by negative 4. Negative divided by negative is positive. But 3/4 is just going to stay as 3/4. Here, negative 20 divided by negative 4. Negative divided by negative is positive, and then 20 divided by 4 is 5. And so there's your 2 equations you can graph. Hopefully you remember how to do that. I'll show you if I have time at the end. Okay, number 7. Oh, this one's going to be kind of a weird one. Whoa. Remember, here's our format. Y equals mx plus b. This is like y equals 0x plus 5. This is going to be a flat line when you graph it, but let's worry about that one in a little bit. Let's go ahead and do this guy, because this one's not in the right format either, right? And you know how I like to put a 1 on here. Boom, boom. There weren't really 1s on there. It's kind of confusing, so I'm going to put those 1s on there. Now, the letter x has got to go. 1 minus 1x. I don't want to have any x's over here hanging out with the y's. The minus 1y or negative 1y is going to drop down. These are backwards. The x should go first. This is positive 1, so I'm going to put plus. And then step 2, this is still being multiplied, so I've got to undo multiplying with dividing. Boom, boom, boom. And I get this. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1, and here positive divided by negative is a negative. So there's the first one. This one is how I wrote right here. This is actually going to be a flat line. Like if you have to graph this, you'll just put a dot at 5, and then it's going to be a completely flat line. Like I mean straight across. This one would be a diagonal line. All the ones that we've done so far have been diagonal lines, except for this one. This one's going to be a flat line. It's going to go straight across at 5. Okay, number 8. Number 8 is looking good at this top one. I like the way this top one looks because I've got my format right here. All right, there's my m, negative 2. There's my b, negative 1. The top one looks great. This one, though, not so great. So I'm going to fix it, make it look like the top version with my 2 steps here, right? Subtract the x on this one. I'm going to be left with negative 4y. This is in the wrong order. The x should go first. The minus 40 or negative 40 should go last. And then we're going to divide. We're going to divide. We're going to divide right here, here, and here. Negative divided by negative is positive. Negative divided by negative is positive. 3 over 4 is just going to stay as 3 over 4. Here, negative divided by negative is positive, but then I know 40 divided by 4. That one's 10. And so that one is in the right format. This one up here was already in the right format. You can graph those two and see where the lines cross. Both of those are diagonal lines as well. Okay, and then the last one. Oh no, next to the last one, there's 10. Holy cow, I forgot there were 10. Oh man, another one where they're not in the right order. This one. Hopefully by now you've kind of got the hang of it. So maybe you're not watching anymore because you've already figured it out, right? Get the X's out of there. I don't want to have X's up here with the Y's. I only want to have the Y over there. This is backwards. X goes first, minus 16 goes second. Then this is multiplying, so I can undo multiplying with dividing. Dividing, dividing. You get Y equals here. The signs are the same, so just switch it to positive. 3 over 2, keep it as 3 over 2 because I can't divide those evenly. Negative by negative here is positive, and 16 and 2 can go into each other. That equals 8. And then we'll do a purple guy down here, this one, straight down here. X plus Y equals negative 7. Kind of bothering me that they didn't put any coefficients, right? Remember when Bailey totally did not look that up on Google in class? We're going to do minus 1x, boom, boom. And I get 1y equals, this is backwards, negative 1x minus 7. And then step 2, divide by 1. Well, does dividing by 1 really change anything? No, it doesn't. I mean, you can do this if you want, but negative, anything divided by 1 stays the same. So you have those two, graph both of those. They're both diagonal lines as well. The last one of these is number 10. Number 10 looks like this. The bottom one is kind of strange. The top one, oh boy, that one's not nice either. So let me just put this top one over here. 2x plus y equals 8. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put a 1 on here. Now I'm going to get the x out of there, 2 minus 2. I'm putting the opposite, right, to make it equal 0. 2x minus 2x is 0. That's why I'm not putting plus. If I would have put plus, it wouldn't have equaled 0. Okay, that 8 is a positive, so I put a plus 8. And then I have the same thing. I could divide by 1, but does dividing by 1 really change anything? No, dividing by 1 just keeps everything the same. And then this guy right here, this is kind of a weird one. This one right here, x equals 5. This is a vertical line. So like when you graph this one, you're going to go over to 5 on the x-axis, since it says x equals 5. So you'll like go way over here to 5. And this one is going to be just like a vertical line at 5. It's going to go straight up and down like this. That's where that one's going to go. Over on 5, 5 to the right, and then make the line go straight up and down. Okay, we're at 17 minutes. Let me go back to the beginning. Let me show you how you graph these, because for some of you, the graphing part will be the hard part. I've already done okay. I'll show you how to graph this one and maybe number 2, and then we'll be done. Okay, so we've spent 17 minutes here getting them all in the right format. Once they're in the right format, how do you graph it? And Ms. Boseller did an awesome job of showing you this yesterday. I know my slope is right here, 2/3. I know my intercept is right here, +1. So I want to put this on the graph. Start with the y-intercept. I used to tell my kids all the time, the end of the equation is the beginning of your graph. The y-intercept is where you start. This is the y-axis, so I'm going to start at 1. Positive 1. Boom, I put a dot. Now, once you have that dot, now let's look at the slope. The slope is 2/3. Positive 2/3. What that means is you're going up 2 over 3. If this would have been a negative 2, then I would have said down. But I'm going up and then over. And whenever I say over, that's always to the right. I never go to the left. So I'm going to take the dot that I already made, the dot that was on the 1. I'm going to go up 2 over 3. Up 2 squares over 3. Up 2 more, over 3 more. Up 2, over 1, 2, 3. Right? Kind of makes this little stair-step thing. Connect the dots. There's the first line. Now let's do the second one. I'll pick a different color. This one will be orange. This one has no number on it, so I'm going to put a 1. If you want to put a number underneath to help you make it easier to understand, that's fine too. Here's my M. Here's my B. And so my B is the 4, positive 4, because it has a plus in front of it. So I'm going to start this one on 4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one has a slope right here, -1 over 1. What that means is you're going, when it says negative, you're going down 1 over 1. I'm still going to the right. Always go to the right. Never, never, never go to the right. Or, yeah, go to the left. So I'm going to go down 1 and 1 to the right. Down 1 and 1 to the right. And I could do this forever, but usually you just need like 3 dots. You should get the lines to cross on most of these. If you have one where the lines don't cross, it's probably a weird one. Look, do I see where the lines cross? Perfect, right there. This is my answer. What's the name of this point? Right here. What's the name of this point? Right there. Well, if I start at the origin, I'm 2 to the right, I'm 2 to the right, and I'm 2 up. 2, 2. That's what you're going to type in the little parentheses over here. It's on the left-hand side on the screen. And there you're done. Let me go ahead and do number 2 really quickly, and then I promise I will be finished. Okay, remember number 2, we did all this work. We got them squared away into the right format. I'm going to do this one in purple. I'm going to outline it in purple. Okay, this one has a y-intercept, right? Here's my m, here's my b. My b is -7. Look at it right there, -7. So that means I'm going to start all the way down here. I don't even know if I have room to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 places below the origin. And now this one has a slope of 1. It's really 1 over 1. Positive 1 over 1, right? When it's positive, I'm going up. Up 1, 1 to the right. Up 1, 1 to the right. I could do this forever. I don't need to do it forever. I'm just going to do a few. Actually, I did way more than I would have normally. I'm going to stop. Okay, now here's the next one. I'm going to put this one in blue right here. Y equals 1x plus 4. So this one has a y-intercept. Here's your m. There's your b. This one has a y-intercept of +4 right there. The end of the equation is the beginning of your graph. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. But uh-oh, this one also has a slope of 1, or 1 over 1, right? When it's positive, I go up. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Are these lines ever going to touch? No way, man. When the lines don't touch, you don't have an answer. You just have to put no solution. They're parallel. Okay, will this happen on any other question? Let me look. No, it doesn't happen on 3. No, it doesn't happen on 4. Yes, it will happen on number 5. No, it doesn't happen on number 6. No, it doesn't happen on 7. No, it doesn't happen on 8 or 9 or 10. So you only have one other one that'll be like that. Most of them will be normal, right? On most of them, you'll be able to look at the slope, look at the intercept, and then make your points, and they should cross. The only one that doesn't cross is this one, and then the other one that I said, number 5. Okay, I hope this helps. Please email us if this is still bothering you. We will do our best to help you. Thank you so much.